material. Talking to the coaching staff today, they said we hope it carries over.
NC State hoping their balanced scoring attack will carry over into the next round. Their top 4 scorers separated by less than 1 point. So we're set to go. Our officials, Roger Ayers, Jamie Lucky, and Clarence Armstrong. Really fine crew here for our second game of the day.
Let's go, OB.
Pittsburgh with their starting lineup. Trey McGowan's another key man. Tony can get cooking. He can get red hot. Hamilton has it up high. Off to Johnson. Looking inside for some movement. Shot clock to 9. McGowan's at the foul line. Got to get a shot in the air here. Tipped away from Hamilton. He saves it. Now he's got to heave it. And a rebound picked off by Daniels.
Good possession to start defensively. The discipline and the focus there for NC State.
NC State 19 wins on the season and a foul. Can they play their way into the NCAA tournament? When they played an excellent game to upset number 6 Duke on February 19th, it looked like they were definitely in, or a reasonably good chance of getting into the tournament. Then they fell to FSU and to Carolina. They beat Pitt. They were blown out by Duke. Joe Lunardi has them in at the moment. Daniels at the line. Foul on that play by Champagnie. Daniels a 70% foul shooter. So here's the resume.
And it's a team that has an impressive resume. But when you look at it right now, I mean, against this Pitt team, this is a loss that erases everything you're looking at. The quad 1 wins is something that leads the way for the Wolfpack, and they haven't been healthy the entire year. So when they're at full force or close to it, it's a very dangerous team.
Johnson gives it away. On the other end, a slam by Markel Johnson, who you talked about in the open, as a huge factor today.
And it's so important for him to get going defensively to allow his offense to flourish. Getting in a passing lane for a touchdown going the other way is huge for the confidence for number 11.
Tony with the touch. Comes in averaging about 10 points a game, but some huge games. He had 27 against Duke in January. Shot clock down to 2. And that won't drop on the long one by Johnson. The scuffle for the rebound picked up by Hamilton. Tony, nice give there, and a foul. Champagnie gets hit.
This is elite thievery right here, and it starts with instincts. Johnson knew exactly where that pass was coming for Johnson. Live ball turnovers, costly. You know, Pitt did a great job taking care of the basketball versus the Demon Deacons. But those types of punctuations, you don't want to see.
Markel with some hops. He's 6'1". An exciting dunker. Champagnie at the line where he's 80%. Markel averaging 13 points a game. And rebound plucked away by NC State, C.J. Bryce. Bryce forcing his way inside, lost the handle and simply gave it up.
And this is going to be the defensive look that the Wolfpack are going to see. Pitt is going to show a 2-3 zone to try and take away a lot of the ball screen action that allows NC State to get going offensively. They're going to make them play a little bit back on their heels as opposed to confidently playing downhill.
Head coaches Jeff Capel for Pitt and Kevin Keats for NC State, former Louisville assistant and head coach at UNC Wilmington. Inside for a quick 2 from Champagnie, so he gets rolling early.
Did a lion's share of that work from that short corner just the other day. Something to be said for momentum. The Panthers have a win on this floor. NC State hasn't played since Friday, so they got to ease their way into this. You expect Pitt to be the team out of the gates coming strong.
Bryce slicing through for 2. C.J. Bryce at 24 against Georgia Tech, 21 against Auburn, 22 against Miami. He can be a big factor.
Oh yeah, loves to do his work inside the arc. A throwback in a game where guys fall in love with the 3-point shot.
Johnson lost it. Tipped out to Bryce. Markel Johnson dishing it down low. Helms can't hit. Tipped out high, controlled by Daniels. So the Wolfpack getting the second efforts. Here's Johnson. Thunderberg setting the screen and rolling the basket. Daniels with the reverse.
That was not meant for Daniels. That was going to Thunderberg, and it was an errant pass, which became the perfect pass.
It might be the Wolfpack's day when it works out like that. It was not meant for him. Nelson made a terrific lay-in. Johnson held up and fouled out high with 16:36 to go. I mean, two guys getting to the same spot.
Well, they know that when Johnson's doing that pick and roll, somebody's going to find their way, and it was definitely going to Thunderberg, but a cutting along that baseline. Daniels thinking, hey, sometimes better be lucky than good.
Helms picks up the foul, his first.
For clarification, Daniels happens to be both.
Yeah,
so
right.
He's good.
So a 7-2 lead for the Wolfpack. McGowan's trying to free up Champagny, who will get a lot of attention. He fires anyway and drains a two-pointer.
How about the emotion and the reaction after he knocks it down to his guys? Let's chill out. Let's chill out. Let's play calm because he knows he's got this. He's in his zone.
Thunderberg rolling inside, battles for the rebound, and he's fouled before that second effort. DJ Thunderberg at 6'10", a junior from Cleveland. Jeff Capel's second year at the helm for the Pitt Panthers. And looking for another victory in the ACC tournament. Trying to make it 2 for 2. Backing in Bryce. Now falling away. And rebounded away by the Panthers and by Eric Hamilton, who gets about 4 or 5 a game. Johnson will drive it. It spins off. Johnson right back up. Xavier Johnson with a basket.
It's a tough guard, tough sophomore guard who, like this entire Pitt backcourt, likes to be in attack mode, getting to the rim, as opposed to settling for those jump shots. Got to take away momentum, that initial thrust in transition.
Markell with a crossover, heavy traffic met by a wall, but he got the lay-in anyway by Daniels after a terrific give. And Daniels off to a nice start. He has 5. So NC State by 3. McGowan's left it behind. Daniels scoops it up. Elm will draw the foul. 6'7" sophomore will be at the line when we return to Greensboro. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life, helping people act on their love.
Kind of line.
So NC State on top 11-7. Pitt right at 500 at 16-16. They had lost 7 consecutive games before winning yesterday. McGowan's all net from 3. It really hasn't been a strong suit for Trey. 31% from three-point land. And another whistle and a foul. This will go against NC State. An offensive foul on Daniels in a 1-point game.
You know, this is a Pitt team that is feeling more confident offensively. Heck, versus Wake Forest, they shot 52%, closed that game out on an 11-4 run. Two things that they typically have not been able to do: shoot it well and close out games. So a little bit of that goes a long way when you do it on this floor within a 24-hour window.
McGowan's again off the front rim. Here's Daniels. Said some really nice performances at 23 against Syracuse. He's bumped. Let's go to Allison.
Guys, we see Champagny with 5 points here to start the game. Kevin Keats told his guys he is going to be aggressive getting his shots. We have to do a good job fronting him. And also the guards have to do a better job pressuring the ball so they can't throw it into him. Also, guys, just told his guys to keep running, keep rebounding. They need to be better limiting Pittsburgh's offensive rebounds. And then also just told them they got to help out with the rebound. It can't be on the bigs. Guards got to get involved.
Yeah, and that's huge, Allison, because Pitt is one of the better offensive rebounding teams. And it starts with Champagny, who really gets on that backcourt.
Beverly swings a nice pass and a foul. 14-19 to go, and Beverly with a nice effort there.
Yeah, when you got to respect the shooter, it allows him to attack a closeout. Cerebral in the movement there, leaves it for Bates, the freshman, typically a shot blocker, loitering on a low block, and he's rewarded with one.
Now a couple of substitutions here for Pitt as Eric Hamilton comes back on. Coulibaly, who just picked up his second personal, will step off for Jeff Capel. Manny Bates did not start the game. Big number 15 for the Wolfpack. And by big, we mean 6'11" and a top shot blocker in the conference, but he's back in there now.
Yeah, missed it with knee soreness, but Danny Dixon was quick to pick him up in that weight game, but they're going to need him down low for plays like that, protecting the rim as the last line of defense.
Got more than 80 block shots.
It's timing. It's discipline to not foul, knowing that you have the size advantage over Tony. Let him shoot it into that wingspan. And I got the record for blocks in Notre Dame with 200-something. He blocked 80 this season as a freshman. That's how prolific, and that's how much better he is than me.
Ellam's off the fade, back for Johnson. And 200 for a career, that's pretty impressive. Beverly will knock that one in. So he's come off the bench. Braxton Beverly certainly has that Wes Welker look going for him.
Trying to get the mojo. I mean, this is a guy who's been battling injury for the last few seasons, and he's a workhorse. Coach said he lives in that gym. 16 points in that weight game. Banged down 4 threes. That momentum's carrying over.
Penny with a one-hander, no. Rebound comes back, and the deflection, it'll stay on this end. Take a look at the cross-court pass moments ago.
I tell you, I love the decision-making out of the gates from Markel Johnson. Just LeBron-like with the one-hand heave, catching the defense, not paying attention to the best shooter on the floor.
He is a really fine player. As mentioned, second team all ACC. Leaning in, McGowan's looking for some contact, but he hits the shot anyway. He has 5 for the Pitt Panthers. We've had their worst three-point shooting team in school history.
NC State number 24.
Did Beverly take a shot?
And McGowan's does a good job getting the feet in the paint. Oh, yeah, he did on the elevation from McGowan's. Caught one on that beard. Maybe that was a little bit of protection there.
A little cushion?
To absorb the blow.
I would if I could, but I can't grow one. No luck whatsoever.
You don't want to hide that handsome face, OB.
Oh, that's what it is, yeah. Here's Bryce. Trying to spin in closer, and 2.
C.J. Bryce.
Tactician with the mid-range. Enjoys that spin-to-win move of his. He is a throwback. I mean, he'll take the 3 if it's open, but he likes to maneuver in that mid-range game and can hit ones that are highly contested.
Well, senior with an interesting skill set. You're exactly right. Jumper won't go here for Hamilton. And NC State trying to build on their lead. Up by 5. Markel Johnson. He's been an assist machine. Daniels looking in. Bates came up, set the screen. The jump shot short. Rebound cradled by Hamilton. Remember, Pitt stuck ACC champion FSU with their first loss back on November the 6th. I mean, terribly early in the season. Johnson on the run. Beverly launches. He can't hit it, but Bryce corrals the rebound. Went for the bank, and he came up empty. And tapped away by Johnson, so Pitt will keep it.
Official side.
Tell you, in the age of the three-point shot, there's no shame in some two-point love right here in traffic. Spin to win. Bryce is nice.
That's all. The #1 seed in the tournament.
That plays like 19 guys.
Yes. And a lot of them can shoot it. Cross-court Champagny. Mid-range jumper. Left that short. Not off to quite the start that he was off to yesterday when he piled on 31 points against Wake Forest. Daniels looking for the open man and gets it underneath for Funderburk. And that was pretty easy for the 6'10 junior. This is the biggest lead so far today for the Wolfpack.
Wolfpack doing a good job of taking care of the basketball. Pitt looks to turn you over. Only 2 giveaways, allowing NC State's offense to maintain a rhythm.
Johnson hunting his shot and a foul. He'll get Beverly for that one.
NC State foul number 4.
I mean, where is the defense, though? Everybody ball watching. Who's protecting the goal? It doesn't get any easier than that.
Foul on Helms will be his second.
Xavier Johnson.
And Xavier Johnson, he's 75%. He's to the line. And another one coming, and Markel Johnson back on for the Wolfpack. Helms to the bench. Jeff Capel also going to his bench, about to bring on Terrell Brown.
Entering for Pitt number 21, Terrell Brown.
And he will replace Champagnie. A 6-point lead for NC State. And their crowd has been gathering here over the last hour or so, getting into the building, realizing just how vital this game is for NC State.
And keep in mind, they were in a very similar position last year in the first round game of the ACC tournament versus Clemson. You win that game, you assume that you're going to be dancing. You win it, and it's still not good enough. So this team has to be very greedy here in Greensboro.
Johnson turns it over, picked off by Brown just into the contest. Long wing jumper, and nothing but net by McGowan. He's off to a pretty good start with 8.
Yeah, and he gave them double figures for the first time in 7 games yesterday. Consequently, those 7 games he was in single digits was the 7-game losing streak.
Boy, that's a tough shot. Markel Johnson taking the contact. He banks it in anyway.
Big time response from Johnson. His first poor decision was the turnover that allowed the jumper.
Offensive foul. Beverly taking the hit. And back over to the Wolfpack it goes. A foul on Xavier Johnson, his second. So 10 minutes to play here in the first half.
Starting for the Panthers, number 24, Brian Murphy.
Daniels on the attack. Up and in. Just kept on moving through that lane.
Yeah, some frustration there from Champagnie. He's leading the driver into what he assumed was help side. It's been a poor job defensively with help side for Pitt. Lack of communication has allowed these driving lanes.
McGowan's left open, swishes in 2 more. He gets to double figures with 10 points. 23-19, the Wolfpack.
Again, now they're showing that 2-3 zone. CJ Bryce at that mid post. He loves to operate there. He's the guy to facilitate.
Little fall away. Tried the backboard, couldn't hit that. McGowan's pushing the tempo. Champagnie back in, will lay it in as he slices through the paint.
I love celebrating Champagnie and his ability to be a factor without the basketball. He's always active. He's running the floor, he's cutting, he's rebounding, he's doing the little things to make himself a paramount piece.
Beverly can't hit. Bryce up high for the rebound and a travel. So that'll give it back to the Panthers, who are hanging in there.
And they're doing it by running, getting out off of misses and looking for things. McGowan's very confident with his perimeter stroke here out of the gate, setting the tone. And then to follow that one up, you have Champagnie running the floor. The Panthers need to explore early offense in the open floor as much as possible.
That was intended for Champagnie, didn't get there. Markel Johnson, and the slam by Daniels. And that, the dunk of the day so far here in Greensboro.
I love it, and people wondering why there's no technical called there. Well, there's traffic around. For safety reasons, Daniel is able to hold on to the rim there and maybe celebrate a little bit more than he should have.
Markel already with 4 assists. Nothing new there. Intended downstairs, and here comes the foul as well as the basket. Daniels will be at the line for a 3-point play. Well, explosion here by NC State. You talk about a quick transition.
Just reckless, the Panthers with the basketball. Daniels, Johnson, back to Daniels. That elevator goes to a different floor, OB. How about about that one? It's madness. It's smart.
Jeff Capel trying to address some of the things that Jordan was just talking about. He told his guys, you got to value the basketball. Make the simple play. Right now, they're trying to do too much. It's one dribble too many. One less dribble, make the right pass, make the smart play. The other thing, guys, they got to be better in transition and stopping them from getting the easy layups. They've been out of position too much, so they got to be better in those two areas.
Yeah, that makes complete sense, Allison, because that's what fuels the Wolfpack. Them trying to turn you over, them trying to get out in the open floor. And they have the athletes that change ends very well.
Well, they forced another turnover. McGowan's wasn't sure what to do with it. They've turned it over 8 times.
Curious to watch how Johnson manages this possession. 5 assists, only 1 turnover for him. Doing a magnificent job delivering.
Daniels again. Yes! He's on fire. He has 15 first-half points.
As we ask for it, you see the 6th assist from Markel Johnson. I'm telling you, he sets the table for these guys to eat, putting them in winning position after winning position.
Daniels had a little bit of treatment on a hand while inside that huddle. Whatever was bothering him is not bothering him much. Swatted away by Funderburk. The 6'10 junior with a bit of a statement. 6:48 to go in the half.
Funderburk out here, the doorman checking IDs. Canceling plays at the rim. How about that one? That is help side when you need it. You get beat as Johnson does off the spin, and Funderburk there with the eraser.
Over the top from McGowan's. NC State trying to win their 20th game of the season and solidify perhaps a trip to the NCAA tournament. A foul with 6:43 to go on Devon Daniels, his second.
OB, we told you at the top, it's going to start this game with how Markel Johnson performs, how he operates, and he's done a magnificent job for this team, putting guys in position to make things happen. Look, 4 defenders he draws. Devon Daniels over there like Macaulay Culkin, home alone from the baseline. And you can count that one good when Daniels gets the feet set, but it's the attention that Markel Johnson commands once he gets his feet in that paint.
2 outstanding shot blockers in the game here for NC State. Had barely got to the rim by Champagnie. Wolfpack with Funderburk and Bates in. So the Wolfpack trying to build on a 10-point lead. Bryce checked his feet. He was short, but he followed his own miss. Johnson. Here's Beverly. Funderburk again. Shot clock at 10. Beverly corner jumper off the iron. Bates scrapping for the rebound. A long possession here for NC State.
And you can tell the fatigue defensively from Pitt. They're not interested in guarding this possession.
Try shot clock to 2. Here's Johnson. And finally, the Pitt Panthers get an opportunity. But down by 10. Champagnie looking to cut in. In and out. Boy, he was in the cylinder. Beverly back to Johnson. The basket here could really put a dent into the Pitt Panthers' hopes in the first half. Stolen away by Tony. And Xavier Johnson shut down by Funderburk. Here's McGowan. And stuffed in by Champagnie. From out of nowhere. To tomahawk that down.
Oh, baby.
They needed that. They needed a shot of life.
And sometimes those dunks are worth more than 2 points because it re-energizes your group as you've been flatlined here for several possessions. Bates has to be a threat. You got to look at the goal and make the defense guard you at the mid-post.
Off the front rim by Johnson. And Xavier Johnson with the basketball for the Pitt Panthers. He'll fire it up there. Champagnie went in too strong for the rebound, and he commits the foul.
Are you kidding me? There's not a lot of guys in the state, in the arena, in the country that can do things like that at 6'6". That's throwback Pitt basketball. Those undersized 4 guys that can do incredible things. And Champagnie has been putting on for the Panthers since he arrived in Greensboro. Wow.
However, he has to go to the bench. He just got his 2nd foul with a little over 4 minutes to go, so Capel has to get him to the bench.
I mean, it's incredible. He's could be the first Pitt freshman to lead the team in points and rebounds since Charles Smith did it back in '85-'86. That's the type of talent you're talking about with these Panthers.
Funderburg missing on the front end of the 1-and-1. 31-23, the Wolfpack. Slicing in, Johnson has the bucket.
Xavier Johnson.
6 for Xavier. And it tightens up here at Greensboro.
I think the zone needs to extend out a little bit more, apply some pressure on Johnson. He's just carving them up at will at the top.
Price with a misfire, too strong. So the momentum flipping over to the Panthers here. Downstairs, up and in by Hamilton, and that necessitates a timeout.
Couple good decisions from Johnson. He started out slow, making some poor reads. He gets the drive to go, then the delivery to Hamilton, and a little bit of momentum. These guards for the Panthers have to provide stability. Looks off the defense, point-blank range for Hamilton.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal.
At that foul line area, look at the rim, look low, and make a play under control. They're missing
playmaker in the middle.
Yes.
Obi and JC.
Kev, thank you very much on the run out. Here comes Johnson on the attack and lays it up and in. And draws a foul on the play with 3:29 to go in the half.
A new look Xavier Johnson here as he's come back in bursts in these last few sequences, playing through the traffic like all great finishers. Those eyes undeterred, remaining steadfastly on the goal, gets it to go. But you heard Fonz talking as they sent it back to us, and they need a LaFonso Ellis, a booking forward that can facilitate this Wolfpack against that zone that they're seeing. Manny Bates wasn't looking, Funderburg wasn't looking at the goal, and those created a few turnovers that allowed the Panthers to go the other way.
They may need him, but they're not going to get it. We're going to keep it. NC State has missed their last 5 shots, so they're looking for someone to be a hot hand here.
But Funderburg has to be that threat at the mid-post.
Swished in by Beverly. Braxton Beverly, the junior, and a Kentucky shooter knocks that one down.
And there's your other option to carve up a zone defense. Your guards from the top with penetration, getting feet in the paint to collapse that thing is always a good decision.
Kevin was asking the question, which I think is fascinating a lot of people here. Can North Carolina win 5 games in this tournament and play their way to the NCAA tournament? I mean, Roy Williams has had a lot of great teams. This has been such a strange season for Roy, and for North Carolina it's going to be a traveling violation. But I don't think anybody doubts this group that he has, now that they're healthy, is capable of making a great run.
Yeah, they've got talent. I mean, that narrative that they ran with because of some comments that I don't even think Coach Williams truly believed that were said. Look, Brandon Robinson shoots it like that. When you've got guys like Baycott, Brooks, and Anthony, of course this team can go on a run in what's been a chaotic ACC.
Chaotic, good way of putting it. Funderburg turns and fires. And a big junior with 4 points.
From that mid-post area, it's going to be there all night long.
Wolfpack by 5. The second round of the ACC tournament, their first game, Pitt's second game.
It's going to be there all day long, too, OB. All day and all night. That shot will be there.
Under 2 minutes to go before the break. Drungo coming off the bench, can't connect. 6'5" freshman out of Rochester, New York, just off the pine. 1:48 to play in the half. And NC State to check it in. And Kevin Keats calling out a play from his sideline.
Andre on, another shooter. You're going to have to respect him and have an awareness if this thing swings.
Shot clock at 7. Beverly is open. Got a really clean look, but he missed, and it'll go the other way. Let's go to Allison.
Guys, the key for NC State, too, is not to let any struggles offensively impact their defense. Kevin Keats felt like that was the case. He said, you guys missed a couple shots against Pittsburgh zone, and then you're not getting back and playing defense. You have to get back and guard, and they need to do a better job. He said, you got to respond together. You got to respond the right way.
And Allison, that is always the challenge with these college kids. They fall in love with their offensive game, and there are defensive mental lapses. Can't have them. Funderburk, a great job of, again, protecting that rim, but the really good teams allow their defense to fuel their offense and not vice versa.
Well, another shot blocked by NC State. They've had several here in the first half. They've had 3 of them. Hamilton. And another whistle. That was with 7 on the shot clock. You like these block shots.
Are you kidding me? This is all I could do, so I love watching this defensively. I played with 4 guards who didn't know how to do that, guard, and I was the one who just waited at home for plays like that. But it takes discipline, it takes timing, and it takes elite athleticism. I didn't block shots like that. I was a guy who snuck around help side.
You were sneaky.
Yeah.
Beverly with a foul. Johnson with a 1-and-1. So 4-point lead here for NC State. Just a little over 1 minute to go in the first half. Xavier Johnson with 11 points. Comes in averaging 12. He'll step off now for Jeff Capel.
Johnson has settled into this game and has really given them the lift that is needed, as him and McGowan's are the head of the snake for this team, and those slashing forwards follow suit with them.
Markel Johnson. Andre just in at the end of the half. Shot clock to 9. Beverly. And it's tipped out by McGowan's with 4 on the shot clock. And 37 seconds to go in the half.
It's going to be Johnson making a play here.
Beverly trying to check it in. Having some trouble doing that. Funderburk went down. A long pass and a wild pass tipped out by Pitt.
That's a tough one not to call, as you got Funderburk trying to back cut and runs into the brick wall of Hamilton. Watch 0 and 0 right at the top of the 3-point line. You got to call that. I mean, that is contact initiated by the defense, preventing a back cut from Funderburk.
In for Andre. Beverly moves it out off of. It'll go the other way. Beverly thought it was off of Tony. So crazy finish here to the half with 32 seconds to go.
Along with number 11, Justin Champagne.
Man, that one to me looked like it was off of Tony. Without question, never clipped Beverly. We have the luxury, though, of 30 cameras in here to see those things.
And super slow-mo.
Yes.
So the shot clock and the game clock just about synced up. Game clock ahead just slightly. Here's McGowan's with a 3. Can't hit off the front of the iron. Time to get something off. Here's Johnson, tipped away, picked up by Hamilton. He will not get a shot off in time. And it ends first half at 35-32 NC State.
Very smart to defend Markel Johnson from half court. He has a penchant for knocking those things down casually. So great finish there from Pitt to keep this thing tight, as it looked like it was tipping towards NC State heavily.
Round 2 of the ACC tournament. NC State by 3. Let's go to Allison.
Coach Keats, just a quick combo there with Markel Johnson. What did you want your guard to know?
Well, I want our guys to stay aggressive. They went to the...
Keep an eye as well on foul trouble for Devon Daniels now. He picked up his second foul with 6:48 to play in the half. State led by 10. He stepped aside and really tightened up. Wolfpack starts the second 20 with the basketball. Here's Bryce. Helms up for a screen. Shot clock down to 7. Funderburk in close. Got the shot he wanted. Couldn't cash in.
Did a great job of carving out some real estate on that low block. Just couldn't punctuate that play.
Pitt coming off a big win against Wake Forest. That's going to trickle off the iron by McGowan's. See if Champagny has the kind of game in this one that he had yesterday, but up and in for Helms.
How does that happen? You got to communicate. What you're doing defensively is running back to the goal, settling, and then guarding. For one guy to plant himself down low and be that open speaks to the lack of communication.
Tony back for Johnson, 10 to shoot. And Xavier Johnson, a point guard, looking for that paint, some contact. He turned it over. Bryce gives it off. Johnson strikes. And a timeout and a quick one for Jeff Capel.
Forcing the issue, costly going the other way. A 10th turnover and capitalization coming from the Wolfpack.
39-32, NC State hoping to open it up.
The other guy.
Well, we need some other guys to step up and make some shots and make some plays. But the main thing is that we got to keep playing the right way. We have to keep being unselfish, and I have confidence that some guys will step up and make some plays for us.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
And Coach Capel nailed it on the head. What we didn't see was the turnover on the drive from Johnson, which allowed it to go the other way. The backcourt of McGowans and Johnson have combined for 21 points. That's great. But they've also combined for 9 turnovers, which have allowed the Wolfpack to go the other way and distance themselves in this second half.
On the other side, Markel Johnson already with 7 assists for NC State in a must-have game. Daniels 8 to get one off here. Markel Johnson took a look at the clock, and he's fouled. Fouled on the play by Xavier Johnson, his 3rd foul in the act of firing up a 3.
A little bit overzealous here. It's a 27% three-point shooter, and you got so much arm there. It's no question a foul.
Markel Johnson on the line for State.
Again, to reiterate, a 27% three-point shooter. There is no need to be up in him like that. You love that you're guarding and contesting, but you got to do it with discipline.
So Markel Johnson taking 3, 62% there, and he misses on the first 2. So another one coming for the senior from Cleveland. Nails the last one. 40-34. Pitt trying to get over that 500 mark. You talked about it early. You know, when you're talking about the NIT, you've got to be at 500 or better. McGowan's lets fly. That glances off the iron.
That's a missed opportunity. You got 6'6" Champagny being defended by 6-foot Johnson down low.
Stolen away by Xavier Johnson. And a block, but also a goaltend. So count that basket.
NC State goes up for goals and the basket will count.
Big time play. Let's see, did this thing get to the glass before Funderburk went for the block? Without a doubt. Proper call there on a goaltend.
So it tightens up again, and every time it looks like NC State might be looking to make a damaging run, Pitt comes right back and fights their way into it.
Well, when it feels like an elimination game for the tournament beyond just the elimination of the conference tournament, it's not going to come easy.
Well, they got it inside to the big DJ Funderburk with a basket. 6 points for him. McGowan's up high. Need to make a move off the foot. Shot clock down to 8. Inside Hamilton nearly spun it in, but he'll be at the line with 16:38 to play.
Coach Capel gives a tap on the chest to McGowan's, one of the parts of that backcourt, because he made the right decision. And it's going to come down to decision making from that backcourt as they try to usher themselves back into this one. The proper decision and an opportunity for points with charity strikes.
Helms with the foul. Hamilton to shoot. He makes 71%. And he's a guy on a team that has really struggled to shoot all season long, who has made shots 50% from the field. That's tops on a poor shooting team. Braxton Beverly back on now. Certainly a 3-point threat for the Wolfpack. And another one coming for Hamilton. Pitt trying to inch a little bit closer and trying to win their second game here in Greensboro in as many days.
I look to go back down low to Thunderbird. Favorable matchup with him versus Hamilton down there. Play to one side.
Slithered into Bryce and kicked out of bounds by Pitt. So NC State will retain possession, trying to win their 20th game of the season. And slapped out of play again. So play here in the second half has been a lot choppier than the first half. It's a game looking for some rhythm. Johnson doubled up, trying to get free, and a whistle, and it's slapped onto the base on the sideline. It's 7 on the shot clock.
Dodge one right there, put Johnson in a tough position for a very easy trap. Ball goes off Johnson after the play. That ain't fun.
I don't think you deserve that.
I don't think that's very kind.
2 to get off a shot. Beverly in traffic will lay in 2. He has 7.
It's a senior making a play when you need him. Used to doing it beyond the arc, but capable of putting it on the deck.
Johnson penetrating, scoops it up, and it rolls in.
Xavier Johnson.
That's when Johnson is at his best. Finding a seam and attacking that rim. He's compact, he's athletic, and he's a phenomenal finisher.
It's been an up and down score. He had 20 against Carolina, 20 against Rutgers. So when he's good, he's very good. NC State with the ball and a 4-point advantage. Daniels can't nail that one, and picked off by Johnson. Trying to be a one-man fast break, and it's going to be an offensive foul.
Came into some traffic there, tough to see from the vantage point, but I'm guessing that off arm, maybe the right arm, was distant. So we'll talk about it after the break.
It'll be number 4 on Xavier Johnson.
The law is exactly what a flagrant one is, so I agree with the call.
And it's 2 shots and the ball here. Excessive in nature, avoidable, uncalled for, unwarranted by the circumstances of the play.
It qualifies in all regards. I got to agree with Clarence, Jamie, and Roger, 3 of the best officials in the game. Roger Ayers, Jamie Lucky, and Clarence Armstrong. They got this one right.
So NC State on top, 46-40, and the basketball. So keep an eye on this moment in the game with a little more than 15 minutes to play in a tight one. Bryce turns to fire. Yes, well, he likes that shot, and he hits that shot.
And he's built for that shot. He's a mid-range guy. He's a cool operator and facilitator at the most vulnerable spot against a 2-3 zone defense. Find Bryce as often as possible in the final 15 minutes.
McGowan's on a tough drive. Too strong, though. Rebound comes out high, and the save.
Pass with the offhand, and the crowd has come alive.
Because the Wolfpack are up by 10. And sensing a major moment here in the second round. Champagny. And a foul with 14:22 to go. And that foul on NC State will be on Markel Johnson.
Watch this, OB. Just a touch with the left hand to lead the way ahead. And Bryce knows what to do with the offering. Tell you, really track now where we go with this game. That flagrant foul from Johnson could be the tipping point in this contest.
Could very well be. McGowan's Gungle lets fly. That didn't touch anything.
Oxygen.
NC State turned it over. McGowan's to Murphy, and 2.
Murphy.
So quickly the Panthers turn that turnover into a basket and cut it back to 8. Bryce in close, no, rebound tipped. and saved by Hamilton.
That's a tough one. When the bunny becomes a bear, Bryce has to finish that one off.
Murphy off the fake. Champagnie can't hit it.
That might be Champagnie's first shot of this second half, which is wild to me. A guy with 31 points and was the player of the day yesterday. Isn't even an option here as of late. Got to get the guy back in this.
Daniels went for the scoop and knocked out a play. You're right, it is his first of the second half. And tonight, our NBA Wednesday doubleheader tips off in Dallas. The Mavs hosting the Nuggets at 8 p.m. Then Zion and the Pelicans take on the Kings. Our coverage begins with Stephen A's pregame Sports Center at 7 p.m. on ESPN. NC State by 8 with the ball. Funderburg.
Got to look at the goal. Funderburg's not even looking.
Kicked outside for the corner jumper by Bryce, and a drill. Big three by C.J. Bryce. And the Wolfpack getting their crowd behind them. A lot of red showing up here for this afternoon session. Murphy with a pull-up pop, and it's down.
Ryan Murphy.
Murphy, a guy who was really troubled by a concussion in the middle of the season, missed a lot of time. It's been a struggle for him to make it back. Daniels back for Johnson in the corner. Funderburg backing in close and traveling with it, so no basket.
For the most part, the Wolfpack have cracked the code versus this zone defense. You got C.J. Bryce manning what's another vulnerable spot, that short corner, but it starts because of the drive of Johnson, extends out to the three and gets it to go. It starts with that point guard. Johnson allowing guys to succeed in position.
Tony rolling inside, and a foul. Wolfpack fans howling there, but a foul against NC State. Just under 12 minutes to go.
Welcome.
ACC tournament bracket tonight includes BC Notre Dame at 7, North Carolina and Syracuse at 9. Sean McDonough and Dan Dockich with the call. Helms on the other end, but a miss.
And OB, I'll tie a bow on it like this. Control what you can control. Go out there and win as many games in this tournament as possible. Don't put it in the hands of the committee. You win this one, you beat Duke. You've done what you need to do.
McGowan's too strong. Helms plucks the rebound.
Still shocked they've gone completely away from Champagnie.
Nice skid. Bates with a stuff. C.J. Bryce making that happen with a nifty give. 55-44. And do you sense a danger zone here for the men in blue?
Yeah, absolutely. Momentum completely shifted after Johnson picked up that flagrant one.
Champagnie won't shoot it. Murphy with a shot clock at 7. Taking a screen. Shot clock down to 3. McGowan has to launch one from way downtown. Bit of desperation, but Tony picks it up and lays it in. Ondie's Tony with 2. His first bucket.
And this is what the Panthers have endured all season long. These long scoring droughts, poor shot selection, settlement. They get a lucky bounce that way with Tony in the putback. Can that get them locked in again in center?
Bryce lines it up. Can't stick it. Foul will be on Bates over the back with 10:07 to go. Let's go to Allison.
You guys are talking about, what's at stake for NC State when it comes to the NCAA tournament, and I think that's why Kevin Keats was so animated during the last timeout. He was so intense, about as fired up as I've seen him, and he told his guys, like, this is not a regular game. You got to bring more. You need to drive hard. Get your hands up on defense. He was taking it to a different level. I think he wants his team to do the same.
Yeah, on cue, as we caught him on camera there, animated for sure. Murphy dumping the pass down. Nifty give there, but a foul. As he got it downstairs to Koulibaly, and Daniels will pick up his third personal. It is a scuffle at the line for this fellow, though. Just 43%. 6'8" freshman from Mali with 9:49 to play.
And an unsung hero from the game yesterday. 10 points, 7 boards in 15 minutes.
Sports Center tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern after PTI with Sage Steele and Kevin Nagandi. Going to give you a look at the best bets to win the tournaments, among other things. And who was your pick coming in to win this tournament?
Yeah, you could pick from all 4 of those top teams and maybe throw in a 5th one. How Virginia's playing right now, a team that is a reigning national champion, and how that defense could dictate the tempo of a game. I like the Cavaliers.
Helms powering his way in. Funderburk had it roll off his fingertips. And Pitt continues to hang around here on a must-win day for NC State. Koulibaly right in and draws the foul. That opened up for him. And the personal on Funderburk is his third.
Koulibaly, a prime example of getting a game under your belt on this floor. Looks immensely more comfortable than he has all season long because of that performance yesterday, bleeding over to this afternoon.
Freshman was a key player on Mali's FIBA World Cup team that made a great run to the finals last summer, eventually losing to the United States. But he was a key man on the floor, and that one's around and out. 55-49, low scoring game here in round 2. Helms off the fake, through the double team. Shot clock now in play at 9. Helms gets it back way short, but that jumper, it comes free, and guess who? Bryce. Here's Johnny on the spot again.
That's just a unlucky sequence as Murphy, with no one around, couldn't get both hands on the fumble, allowed the easy one.
When the Wolfpack has needed a key basket, they got 13 out of Bryce today. Funderburk hauling in that rebound. The swing for Daniels. Funderburk beat everybody and laid it in. DJ Funderburk with a key basket to get it back to 10. And once again, the NC State faithful making some noise. Champagny to the left hand. That won't drop. Bryce. Here's Daniel. That's up and in for 2. A quick strike for the 6'5" junior, and a timeout for the Pitt Panthers.
Winning plays, a big-time response from your leaders. Getting on the backboard. Right place, right time. C.J. Bryce gets it, but it's been a whole 19 points from Devon Daniels, and Bryce with 13 of his own. Your key pieces delivering with your back against the wall.
Hamilton losing that footing a little bit, but able to keep the foot down. Got the shot up, and he made it. Not sure how he made it, but he made it.
And you'll live with those defensively if you're the Wolfpack. Eric Hamilton, not the biggest threat to score the ball. Flailing with a fadeaway, uses every piece of the rim to get it to go.
Kind of a desperate shot, but they needed it desperately. Daniels over the top. Funderburk going in strong with a right hand. Now, NC State wants the basket as well. They think it's goaltending. With 7:02 to go, the crowd is howling. The officials are getting together. Jamie Lucky, Clarence Armstrong, and Roger Ayers.
You can't go look. So they're going to have to go with what they saw first go-round. Definitely contact. And from that angle, it looked like it was still going on.
You thought so?
From that angle, that looked like a clean block from Champagne.
Funderburk sinks the first one. He has a 9-point game going. Now, the officials can't go to the monitor there. They can, however, elect to give the basket. They decided not to do it. 63-51. So a 12-point lead here for the Wolfpack. Under 7 minutes to play in Greensboro. Champagny trying to get going.
I don't understand the hesitancy. You had 31 points yesterday. You haven't had wide open looks. You can't think twice when it's that clean.
Daniels shovels it up there. That's a shot he's very good with. And he has 21. So this is the biggest lead all day for the Wolfpack as they lead by 14. And as Pitt running out of gas here at the ACC tournament. Tony will launch. That's not there. Rebound tip to Bryce, who seems to be everywhere in this game.
This is where you miss not having that three-point threat. This is a team that shoots 353rd in the country from the three-point line. You're not going to get it there.
Bryce, a wild effort, but he lost his footing. And in fact, he's down and sitting on the baseline as Johnson attacks. He can't hit the layup. Tony to the other side finally does. And an official timeout. C.J. Bryce, one of the reasons he was so awkward going through that lane is he got nicked up on that play. 5:49 to play. 65-53. See if C.J. Bryce, a senior from Charlotte, can continue. He missed some games earlier this season with a concussion.
Oh yeah, you hate seeing that with such a bang play. You step on the opposition's foot, that ankle goes awry. It's just a matter of how severe was the turn. They never look good no matter how you look at them.
He and Coach Keats go way back. CJ played 2 seasons for him at UNC Wilmington when Kevin Keats was the head coach there. In fact, he was first team All Colonial Athletic Conference. He was a really fine player in that league. And let's go to Allison for more.
Yeah, after spending 5 years together, it leaves both Keats and Bryce kind of wondering where the time has gone. But Bryce said he is determined to go out with a bang this year. You know, when NC State made the NCAA tournament Keats' first year, Bryce couldn't play. He had to sit out because of the transfer rule. So a goal of his from the beginning of this year is to get this team to the NCAA tournament. The two have obviously been through a ton together. And Keats said, you know, I have to get on him a lot. We've had our ups and downs, but when he's mad at me, that's when I know I'm doing the right thing by him.
That sounds like a friendship as much as anything.
I'm still wondering if Allison's going to get a rematch on the ping pong table with Coach. Wasn't her best showing the first time around, Allison.
Hey now, I don't play nearly as much ping pong as Coach Keats, and he is a self-proclaimed Virginia of ping pong, and they're the defending champs, so he is too, right?
Rebound taken away by Daniels. Up for Johnson. Champagny got back to defend. Pitt really crashing the glass there, and it's out of play off of NC State. That's the call by Jamie Lucky. 5:14 to go.
I think that was a missed call. This looked like it most clearly went off. How about the hustle from Champagny? How about the hustle coming from Hamilton as well? And I think this is, it looked to me like it was knocked out of Johnson's hand.
Well, Pitt still has a life here. 5 minutes to go, but they're just 3 out of 15 from three-point land. Murphy off the fake, a two-pointer coming, well short. Daniels with another rebound, and he'll draw the foul. Tony over the back on that sideline right in front of the Pitt bench.
Foul number 5 on East Tony. His first.
I mean, Tony was such a big performer the first time around in the matchup with these two teams with 24 points. Just hasn't gotten anything going. You thought you'd ride the momentum of Champagny as well. And they just haven't gotten it. And when you don't shoot the three ball well, when you climb down by 12 points and you don't have the offensive firepower, it's a steep climb.
It is, in fact, the worst three-point shooting team in Pitt history. So today, in line with what they've done all season long. But they're not out of this game yet. Johnson patiently running the offense. Daniels. Beverly to the baseline. Shot clock now to 6. Daniels will attack. And drills another one of them. How many of those has he hit today?
This just hasn't been an aggressive zone. It's been one on its heels and allowed the Wolfpack to maintain that aggressive style playing downhill.
Devon Daniels making the shots when he's had to make him 23 points. McGowan's trying to penetrate and kick. Hamilton, not there.
There's just nothing offensively, and that is carrying over. You hear that so much. When the offense isn't going, the defense starts to rest a little bit, and Wolfpack get whatever they want.
Lily Beverly wide open for the three. Absolutely drained it. And now it's getting away for the Wolfpack. On a day they could not afford to lose, they've opened up a 17-point lead. Downstairs, Tony the intended man, but it never got to him. Markel Johnson, another open shooter. Bryce. Rebound tipped and controlled by the Panthers, but time beginning to become a factor now. Murphy gets an open shot. Bates with the rebound. 70-53 is the clock running out on Jeff Capel's season. Kevin Keats exhorting his team to keep on playing hard under 3 minutes to go. Shot clock at 6. Bryce with a catch. Blocked from behind by Tony. And a fine defensive play by Tony. Murphy again, and those shots are just not falling for him. And a tie-up on the play. Possession arrow will keep it on this end.
You want to see some shots fall? Well, all you got to do is look at the Wolfpack down the stretch. They have found their rhythm. They have found their groove. Devon Daniels has been a lighthouse, the go-to. Lionel Richie all day long, the remix. And then Braxton Beverly with how he performed on senior day, 16 there. The sharpshooter getting it going as well.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life, helping people act on their love for 175 years. To 80. Now you look at NC State. Huge one today. Should they win it, Duke is waiting in the wings to take on the winner of this one, but NC State has won it 10 times.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, the Pack are 13-5 when they have their top 8 performers available. 6-7 when they're missing one of the key components. When they got all their guys out there, this is a team that nobody in the conference wants to see in this tournament. And with how they're closing this one out, you got to think twice about maybe considering them to go on a crazy run.
Champagny with a miss in tight. Well, I saw them play against Duke and play a spectacular game. There wasn't anything they did wrong in that game against the Duke Blue Devils.
And it started at the top. Markel Johnson had 28 points and only 1 turnover in that game. I mean, the guy couldn't miss, had 5 threes and set the tone. And that game was huge to put them back into the conversation of bubble. I love a team that has pressure on them to stay in the tournament pool and get it done like this. That makes me believe.
Bryce bottled up, got the pass free anyway to Helms. Jumping into the lane. And a basket. And one as well. Well, a huge play. And really, it started with his ability, Bryce's ability to get free of that double team.
Just, again, the open floor stuff. Danny Dixon played well in their season finale, replacing an injured Manny Bates. So a lot of guys making plays, and when you look back and talk about getting it done this afternoon, C.J. Bryce was huge with this team. Double-figure rebounds, a double-double for him. DJ Funderburk, 10 and 7. How about 11 dimes from Markel Johnson? Braxton Beverly hits double figures. And then, of course, the 23 points from Devon Daniels. Your key players in such a big place deliver.
And Dixon coming off the bench late with a 3-point play to open it up to 20 points with 2 minutes to go. And another turnover here by the Pitt Panthers. So NC State doing what they needed to do here in their first game in Greensboro. And with 1:51 to go, Jeff Capel's going to get some of his bench guys a couple of minutes.
And I'm telling you, enjoy it now because Pitt is trending upward. And this is a team with that sophomore class that's going to be back next year. We saw who Justin Champagnie is for this team, one of the best freshmen, and the performance he had yesterday. They've got some other guys coming in. They need a little bit more shooting, too, and a post presence. But Coach Capel has this program where it needs to be. And I'm telling you, next year, there's reason to think they're going to finish in the upper echelon.
Different game for Champagnie today than the one he had yesterday, where he exploded for 31. He leaves the floor with 9 points today, 4 out of 13. So the final couple of minutes, and NC State beginning to celebrate a key victory. It's a question, how many do they have to win here in Greensboro? Talking about the NCAA tournament. But they have today, which is their 20th win of the season, when in fact they lock it up. We'll go to 20-12. Number 5 seed about to move on to take on Duke.
My advice to the Pac fans out there and this team is stay hungry. Go out there and try and get Duke and not put this in the committee's hands. You would think they've done enough to be in this tournament. I would put them in, but you simply never know when the committee's making that decision.
Well, among the brightest stars today for NC State, you saw Bryce leave the floor, got a really nice hand. He seemed to be everywhere. And also Devon Daniels leading all scorers as he poured in 23 points. And a big leadership role for Devon as well, the junior from Battle Creek, Michigan. And he got nicked up. Maybe it came on a spectacular dunk in the first half, but that didn't cost him, even though he cut that hand. He cut that finger.
I would not know what that phenomenon feels like, OB. Couldn't tell you.
You know, it's a combination of marvelous and not so marvelous, but probably more of the marvelous, I would think, because that was some play.
Oh, absolutely.
Inside the 1 minute.
So less than a minute to go as we continue on here on day 2 of the ACC tournament. Helms with a jumper. Pitt winds up with 1 win in a spirited effort against Wake Forest yesterday. Champagnie was the first star of the tournament with 31. But a must-have for the Wolfpack, and they went out and played very, very well today. And they're enjoying the fruits of their labor in the Coliseum. And 5 seconds to get off a shot, and stolen away. Andre with the rebound, and that will do it. NC State cruising to a victory over the number 13 Pitt Panthers today, 73-58. Huge win for the Wolfpack. Every game they play is huge.
The Pack needed to do what was required of them to remain in the conversation. As of right now, this team is dancing, but you got a great opportunity versus a Duke team that you've shown you're capable of beating. It starts and ends with Markel Johnson, those upperclassmen. They delivered today. They will have momentum going into that matchup, and there's reason to believe this team can go on a run here in Greensboro.
Hard not to look back at the play that occurred at 15:24 to go. Pitt was down only 4 points, had the ball, then came the flagrant one. NC State made the foul shots and a basket. They got it up to 8. Pitt cut into a little bit, but NC State really jumped from that point, and they buried them in the second half.
How they close the game. To close it like that is big time, and that has the makings of what a tournament team truly is.
Let's go to Allison with Devon Daniels.
All right, Devon, there was so much talk with this game about what was at stake for NC State when it comes to the NCAA tournament. You guys want to win the ACC tournament. What was the mentality you had to bring into this game?
You know, we're just taking it one game like at a time. You know, we we can't go any further unless we take care of this one right here, so we just focus in.
So you were able to do that. What enabled you guys to really pull away in the second half?
I think we got more aggressive when they went zone. I feel like in the first half we were kind of stagnant. You know, we were just playing our game.
Coach told me that after you were named Player of the Week at the end of February, he felt like you started to coast a little bit. You show up with a big-time 23 points here today. What did you need to do to come out and have the performance you did?
You know, just keep on going hard like in practice. You know, I had to compete in practice, not take a day off, and I wanted to win. The teammates, we were all played together today, and it was just a good win.
All right, so you advance to take on the Duke Blue Devils. You'll see them for the 3rd time in the last month. What are your thoughts on another crack at your rivals?
I'm excited. You know, I feel like we have a good chance. It's going to be a great game, very, very competitive, and we're just going to have to lock in on the scouting report and come ready to play. So
what is the challenge with the quick turnaround? I mean, obviously it's a team you're familiar with, but still, it's such a quick turnaround. What's the challenge with that?
I don't really think it's a challenge. We love playing basketball, so I think we're all happy to be here.
Awesome. Thanks, Devon.
Good to be young, huh? No challenge at all.
I'm tired.
Yeah, you and I are tired. Well, here's a look at the bracket, the New York Life ACC tournament bracket. We saw